Alright guys, for the next step, we're gonna clean up this head gasket. I've already cleaned the deck surface on the head. So that's ready for a head gasket. Now we're just gonna reuse this one. Spray some copper spray on it. Should fill those gaps up nicely. And we'll see how it goes. I'm just kidding. We're not using this shit. But for comparison, this is an OEM head gasket on the left. And this is a generic AutoZone / O'Reilly's head gasket. You can see this copper O-ring here. It doesn't have it. So these head gaskets held up to 36 pounds of boost with no problems whatsoever. Yeah, so, you know, everyone always says go OEM, go OEM. I'm not advocating to not go OEM, but that's cheap AutoZone shit and it worked. So since we're trying to get this car up and running again, you know, I don't like having downtime. So we have 2 more replacement head gaskets. These are Velcro for a VG30 DETT twin turbo, of course. It's an NA, but you know, it'll work. The other thing that I'm going to be using with that is copper spray gasket. I've had a lot of luck using this. If anything, I feel like that contributes to having a better seal with whatever head gasket you use. I will never use a multi-layer steel head gasket because of the very strict deck surfaces that are required with that. And as much as we tear this engine apart, you know, we just want to have something that you can just run to the store, go get it, throw it in your car, and have it back and running within the next few days. That's the way I do things. So one of the other things that I'm gonna do while I'm here is check the straightness of the deck. And we're good. Piston's actually flush now. Whereas before, it used to sit right around there. Alright guys, so this is after 1 coat. I'm gonna let it hang for a few minutes and then go ahead and give it a 2nd coat. Alright, so let it sit and dry for some time. No removing turbos, no removing downpipe, no removing exhaust heat shield. I mean, turbo blanket. nothing, just on and off, quick and easy, simple. I am going to be taking off the external wastegates. Just in the meantime, I am going to be running less boost. Welcome back to the channel. It is the following day. So this is our progress so far. I'm sorry I didn't film too much of it. I was just trying to knock it out as quickly as possible. We've got our oil pan on. The timing belt's all set. We got the lower intake back on. We have our transmission shield. This is very important. Our flywheel, our clutch. The coolant lines are on. The oil return line's on for the turbo. I do need to, before I put it in place, I need to put this oil line on for the oil cooler. And then this one can stay on because it's pretty accessible with the car and the engine. But before I drop it in the bay, I am gonna go ahead and work on swapping out the springs in this wastegate. I'm gonna show you guys that process in a bit. Alright guys, so this is my setup here. These are somewhat hard to compress by hand, depending on what springs you have in here. So I like to use the press. I think what I currently have in it right now is equivalent to a 16.5 spring, which is the natural, the red spring, and a green spring. I'm not sure if I want to go down to a 12 or 13.5. I'm still debating that right now. But yeah. So after taking it apart, you can see the 3 springs that I mentioned earlier. I have a natural, a red, and a green, which total out to 16.5 of base pressure. What I'm gonna do now is I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with 12 pounds. So that would be the yellow spring and a green spring. I did bring my yellow springs, which are right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and double check and get those installed. So the green is the larger one that goes on the outside. The yellow one is the smaller one that goes on the inside. It's kind of hard to record and do all of this at the same time. We're ready to drop it in.